Back over to the Marriott Center now, where Lauren McLean is still relaxing in Lauren's lounge, but now has wide receivers coach Fesi Sitake.
I was falling asleep over here. It'd been a while, but now I'm with Coach. What's up?
What's up?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good to have you here. So you're finally done. You're done. You get a little bit of a break.
Yep.
Do you have any plans coming up with your family?
Actually, that's probably not till spring break, but after this, I'm gonna go do some professional development, go to some other programs across the country, and try and shadow some guys and just try and get better, you know. So that's the plan. But then for sure, just relax, hang with the family when I'm not doing that, and just breathe and have fun.
I was gonna say, look at you. Most people would want to relax, go to the beach, but you're still trying to improve yourself. That's great.
Yeah, and that might not be true. I might just be trying to impress you, like I'm great. No.
So, Coach, we've had 1 year of Jeff Graham's offense. When you're out on the recruiting trail, how do you sell that to potential receivers?
Just the ability that we have to use them in any capacity, and whether that's you know, obviously when you think of receivers, the first thing that comes to anyone's mind, rightfully so, is just running down the field and catching the ball. There's so much more to the position, and you know, receivers, you know, these days understand that they got to be involved in catching quick screens or getting jet sweeps handed off to them, and even the blocking, the physical part of the game where they're required to block. And so I just try and sell them that they can come here and be an all-around complete receiver, because we're going to use them in every way. They're not going to specialize on the outside receiver. They're not going to specialize as a slot receiver. We play them all across the board. So and then from there, usually the catches and the stats, which a lot of receivers care about, that kind of takes care of itself.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like to go down that road and project how many catches they're going to have or how many plays they're going to play. Just more the general philosophy of the offense is how involved they could be, assuming they live up to that role. So.
And you just signed Javel Brown out of California today.
Yeah.
What was his recruiting process like, and what strengths is he going to bring to the program?
So the biggest strength in terms of that is his versatility. He's such a good athlete, and to me, in my history of coaching, the best players have been those guys who played multiple positions in high school. They never specialized in that one position, and so because of that, I think his ceiling is really high. He's never been really polished and refined as a receiver, but he's got all the tools to be a great one. And so, and then the recruiting process was interesting. He was kind of on the radar and then completely off, and then came back on really late, just because he was able to do some things academically to get him back up to par and responded to some challenges, and that's what I really like about him. He went from someone who we just weren't concerned about to now I'm so excited, because he's someone I know when you challenge him, he's going to respond to that challenge, and so I'm really excited to see what he does for us.
He put in the work. You also had some early signees in Chase Roberts and Keanu Hill. What expectations do you have for those guys? How do you see them fitting into the program?
Yeah, so first with Keanu, because he's more immediate, he's playing, coming in this year. I expect him to contribute early. He's a big physical receiver. We don't have someone with his type of kind of size and presence. Neil Pau, who's very similar in size but has a different style in his play. He's a little more of a fluid, athletic type. Keanu's got kind of that physical presence to him, and so I'm real anxious to kind of see how he steps in and competes. I know he's hungry for that. Chase, upon his mission, I'm excited because he's going to have a whole spring and a whole summer to really get in shape, and I think there's no doubt he's someone that can come in and just play immediately. He's one of the most all-around polished receivers I've ever seen out of high school, and not just guys I've signed, just period, and being able to recruit. And I can't wait to get him.
That's good news for 2019.
Yeah, absolutely.
This signing day has been a little bit different, where we've had current players instead of former players announcing the new signees. What's it like seeing one of your guys like Micah Simon being up there and inviting these guys into the program?
I think it's really cool. It's probably nostalgic for those guys, you know, and I really think it's great just in terms of experience. Like, Micah's got that personality. He'll do whatever you want him to do in front of the camera. Whereas a guy like Aleva, that was probably a lot more out of his comfort zone. And so in that regard, in terms of just, I like these guys kind of getting a little bit uncomfortable. I think it's a great opportunity for them, and then more importantly, to just be able to introduce a future teammate of theirs and kind of grow that brotherhood. So I really love the format and how it's done this year.
That's awesome. Coach, well, we appreciate the time. Thanks so much. Let's send it back to the guys in Studio B.
McLean with Fesi Sitake. We appreciate the coach and wish him the best on his professional development. And he did impress us, by the way. So it worked, Coach. It worked.